Hi, everyone. We'll just wait another minute or so to let everyone else join. We won't delay too long. We'll just give it another minute. All right, well, we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you all for joining us today. My name is Rochelle Walter, and I'm the Director of Sales Strategies and Operations here at Legier Pharmaceuticals. For those of you joining us for the first time, I'll give you a little recap about Legier. We've been offering medical practice solutions for weight loss and wellness for over 50 years. We specialize in building out those comprehensive protocols to help build practices and watch them grow, increase revenue streams, clinic visibility, and patient retention. And today we're excited to share some strategies about how to capture that post-GLP-1 market opportunity. And it is my absolute pleasure to introduce you all to our host and expert on the matter, Ben Swikowski. I can say his last name. I like to call him Pharmacist Ben, even though he's not a pharmacist, but he has a very extensive background in pharmaceutical products and the industry itself, as he's been with the company for almost 12 years. And so since he's been here for almost 12 years, he's seen all the weight loss trends come and go. He's helped hundreds, if not thousands, of clinics grow their practice. So he is the perfect person to share all of these details with you today about GLP-1s, where the market's heading, and where we should take your practice to make sure that you're not missing anything. He's got a double major from Arizona State University. And he's, as I mentioned, helped many practices grow with their weight loss, IV infusions. He knows a great amount of information on 503A and 503B compounding, which he'll share a little bit with you today. But without further delay, I'd like to let Ben take it off. There will be questions at the end. So there's a Q&A. Feel free to type those questions in as we go. We'll get to those at the end. Thank you. Go ahead, Ben.
Well, thank you, Rochelle. That was a very nice introduction. My new boss there. Congratulations to Rochelle for being promoted to sales manager, director of office business here at Legier. So appreciate that kind intro. So yeah, I've been doing this almost 12 years now. Have seen trends come and go. When I started, the big one was HCG. It's some of my OG doctors, physicians, nurse practitioners out there remember that craze, the weight loss trend they don't want you to know about. That was all the rage. It seemed like every other phone call was for HCG when I started here, and then past couple of years, every other call has been for GLP-1s, other peptides for weight loss. And it seems that crest has definitely peaked, and if it has not peaked, it's peaked for in-office use. So kind of what that means is that if you've noticed some of the commercials out there, if you watched the Super Bowl, you see these massive big pharma companies now advertising telemedicine directly to patients. They're trying to essentially cut out the middleman, which unfortunately is some of the physicians and providers out there by going through these big telehealth companies. Hims, hers, I just couldn't believe they both had commercials on during the Super Bowl. That was crazy. Then, of course, Novo Nordisk, who's Hims and hers, and there's that lawsuit. But now everyone's happy because they're now making millions doing telemedicine by prescribing and writing these scripts directly to patients. So if the usage of GLP-1s is not down overall, definitely the usage I've noticed, a lot of my providers have noticed that usage in office is down. So what do we do about that? Obviously, it's been fantastic revenue stream for the past few years. I definitely have seen it. So my providers have seen it, and we don't want to lose that, obviously. So what can we do to kind of counter this discontinuation? So they're discontinuing for other reasons too. It's not just going online telehealth, telemedicine directly to these companies directly. Some of the patients are, kind of growing tired of some of those adverse side effects, as we've seen in the past: nausea, bloating, constipation, a lack of appetite, which is an adverse side effect, but a good side effect with GLP-1s. Let's not go into that too much. But also they cost too. GLPs definitely are not cheap. They've definitely not been covered by some patients' insurance. So we need to offer a cost-effective, cost-efficient way to offer medically supervised weight loss to our patients without essentially breaking the bank. What's the point of helping them lose weight for 6 months to a year if they can no longer afford to be on the program for extended periods of time? I know the jury is still out on whether or not you should be on GLP-1s for the rest of your life, extended periods of time. As far as Legier is concerned, we're a small pharma, so we are not pushing excess medication on anyone. To be honest, the goal is to get them off of medications like metformin, like phentermine, like GLP-1s. The goal is to have a sustainable long-term solution. And how do we do that? We recommend our lipotropics, B vitamins, coenzymes in the B vitamin family. So here's a slide here when they do stop on the GLP-1s, showing that they are regaining the weight. And general rule of thumb is once the patient regains the weight, they don't just regain to the starting point. They usually add about 10%. So if they're off GLP-1s for a while, not only are they regaining the weight, but they're going even plus 10%. They're regaining it faster than they would have with a normal behavioral program alone. Metabolism slowing down as well, as you can see there. So what do we do? What do we do about it? What's the solution? What's the alternative? How do we keep the practice afloat? How do we keep our medically supervised weight loss program running? I know a lot of providers kind of got into medical weight loss during the GLP-1 fad or craze, as you may have it. We've been doing this at Legier for over 55 years. I've been helping providers implement medically supervised weight loss programs for, close to 12, 11 years, 8 months. If anyone wants to give me a 12-year anniversary present, it's August 1st. Just keep that in mind. I'm not sure how many active customers I have out there. It's up to, gosh, over 600. So over the years, Rochelle's not under exaggerating. I've helped thousands of providers offer weight loss successfully, sustainably. And that's the key word, sustainably. This is not low-calorie diet stuff. I understand HCG went along with the VLCD, the very low-calorie diet. A lot of people that have been on the GLP-1s have been cutting down their calories, their caloric intake, to an unhealthy level because they've lost the taste for food. Now we want people to enjoy life and be healthy out there. Not eating a normal healthy amount is not sustainable. It's not healthy. A lot of people refer to this as the Ozempic face, when they're looking gaunt. We want them to look toned and tight, be it at the expense of rapid weight loss. I would rather have a patient lose, 20 pounds over 6 months and keep that off and retain muscle than lose 20 pounds in 30 days and look like, a skeleton. Hopefully, I think heroin chic is no longer in vogue, but you'll have to ask Rochelle about that later. So here's a little intro to lipotropics. They literally mean fat loving. They help the liver metabolize stored fat. And Mr. Legier taught me this a long time ago. Whenever a doctor or a nurse would say, "Hey, send me the clinical studies. I want a double-blind placebo," he goes, "Well, you tell them lipotropics metabolize stored fat. They help the liver metabolize stored fat, and that is not a claim. That is a structure function statement. That's what they do. There's no denying it. You don't have a batch that's not effective. If a patient is not losing weight, then they're not sticking to the diet, because obviously you can't lay on the couch, eat Cheetos all day, take a lipo B12 injection, expect to lose weight. So what they are, similar to B12. So you're doing administering 1 cc or so every 1 or 2 weeks. It's going to help with energy, help with lipotropics, help break down those lipotropics. So in the past, when patients have tried to lose weight, as is with any program, you will lose a couple pounds and you plateau because your body's going to convert protein, the muscle mass, into energy instead of fat. So you need something to help break down those fats. The amino acid L-carnitine is fantastic. Lipotropics are fantastic to do that. So you need something that's going to maximize the patient's efforts. And lipotropics will do that. Okay, so lipotropics help support fat metabolism, boost energy levels, maintain healthy liver function, and aid in the removal of toxins. It actually will help to detoxify the liver as well. So anyone with fatty liver disorder, especially overweight folks because of excess alcohol consumption, if that's how they're getting a lot of their calories, lipotropics will really be very effective for them. All right. So yes, they can be an alternative to GLP-1s. Lipotropics can also be alternative. They can be for maintenance if they've hit or they're close to their goal weight, and they can even be complementary. If you guys are still using administering GLP-1s, it's fantastic. Definitely don't want to replace anything you're happy with. But even when, especially when they were scarce, I had a lot of clinics doing a 1 week of GLP-1, semaglutide, tirzepatide. The next week, they're doing a B12 lipo shot. Now, many benefits of doing this. Obviously, there is the financial benefit. Keep your costs down. Of course, lipotropics usually less expensive, far less expensive than the GLP-1s. You cut down on the adverse side effects as well. There's no nausea, bloating, indigestion, none of that GI stuff, contraindications or adverse side effects with the lipotropic injections. And then, yes, for the cost, too. It also helps keep the cost down for the patient, which is a big importance depending on your patient's demographics and whether or not their insurance may or may not cover those GLP shots. This is all cash based. It's affordable. It's sustainable. It's great for long-term use. You can use it alongside any program you're currently offering. You could use it as a standalone program. This has been the tried and true solution for decades. Yes, we've seen, a spike in GLP sales, just like we saw a spike in HCG sales 10 years ago. But through it all, my sales of those lipotropics have stayed steady. So that's how you know it's something tried and true, and something that is effective for the patients and profitable for the practices. So how do we integrate those lipotropic injections into your practice? Now, of course, you will have the initial consultation, check out medical history. This is a great time to have your patients keep a food diary. I have a lot of providers I recommend even for that first week because change is hard. They've made the big decision has come to see you. So they've already succeeded. Now we need to keep them going. And how do we do that? Slow and steady, minor changes. Okay, for the first week, I want you to eat whatever you want. Patient, eat whatever you want. I just want you to be honest, and I want you to write down everything you eat and drink. After a week or two, when you come back, we're going to review your food diary, your food journal. They're free online. Just Google them. And then if you feel fine, your patients 9 times out of 10 have put themselves on a diet without even you asking. So obviously healthy caloric intake recommendations for their age, demographics, their weight, obviously their gender, high protein, low carb, whatever you guys want to do. We make it very general here at Leger because, the trends come and go. Whatever diet you want to recommend, Mediterranean, Atkins, keto, it's all good with us as long as they're, staying away from the junk food, which I think everyone cut down on those processed foods and sugars and exercise at least 30 minutes a day. All the The research out there, I think it's even 20, 22, 24 minutes of a light exercise, brisk walking, something that gets their heart rate going, light exercise. And I don't like to hear, oh, I don't have time for it, because you could park at the furthest spot at the grocery store and you walk quickly there and back and boom, there's your 20, 25 minutes. So they're doing that, sticking to a reasonably healthy diet, a normal caloric intake. Lipotropics will help others see the results in the mirror on the scale that they've been missing in the past. Okay, so patient assessment, BMI, treatment planning, frequency. Most providers see patients weekly or every other week for these shots. You can develop and tailor a plan specifically for your patient. So if one has a lot of weight to lose, maybe they want to come in twice a week. They're water soluble, so you don't have to worry about administering too much. Every other week, maybe that's a maintenance plan. Maybe they've hit their goal, but about once a week is most common. And the key too is to keep measuring. We know it's really easy, it's fast, quick, put them on the scale. But as long as you're just watching the scale, they're going to have what they may consider a bad week, where they've hit a plateau and the weight in lbs and pounds stops coming off. But if you are still measuring arms, hips, waist, thighs, you'll still tell them, hey, maybe we only lost 1 pound. Maybe we didn't lose any pounds this week, but you know what? When we add up all those inches around the body, you still lost 3, 4 inches this week. That's fantastic. We actually want to preserve lean muscle mass, which weighs more than fat, of course. So you're going to have these weeks, and that's not a bad thing. And that's why it's so important to sign patients up, or when they sign up, you get them to commit to 4, 8, 12 weeks at a time. Give them a discount, give them an incentive. Tell them, hey, I'm going to order your medication from this awesome guy, Ben, at Legier. And if he orders that, I'm going to keep it and reserve it for you. So you have to come back, and if you offer some sort of penalty if they do miss, because this program is going to be effective. They're not going to want to jump ship. They might try after a bad week, but we need to keep them coming back. So it's all with progress monitoring, plan adjustment. If they are struggling with sugar intake or something like that, we've got some great products here for sugar control that we can add on as a patient by patient basis. So don't forget to ask your rep or anyone here at Legier about those add-ons here, which we'll get into later. Okay, now fun part, price and profit. I know this, I'm sure there's our business people out there, our practice owners are definitely concerned about this slide. So when you look at the price per shot, look at about $80 per entire vial. That's a 30 ml, what they generally come in. You do the math, divide that 80 by 30 at $2.60 and change there per injection. Generally, those retail for between 35 and 75 bucks, just depending, of course, on your patient demographics. Like we said, 1 to 2 times weekly. One is most common, but yeah, if they, I got a reunion, I got a wedding in 30 days, can I come in 2, 3 times a week? 3 would be the max every other day. They're just, otherwise, they're water soluble. They're just excreting too much of the vitamins and lipotropics. So I wouldn't recommend any more than that. But yeah, 2, 3 times a week, once every other week. Hey, maybe they've hit their weight. They want to come. They feel good on them once a month. So maybe that could be your maintenance plan after they lose the majority of their weight. And now when we calculate for profits, here's what we're looking at. There's a 267 and change per shot. First, you add the needle, of course, all that stuff too. Retail, there's your net profit margins, $30 to $70 per injection. You can see that, multiply that by 4 times a week, eight, 8 times a month if they're becoming that costly. So really, your net monthly profit per patient times 20 patients. So you have weight loss program, start small, 10, 20. It's very reasonable. Have this done, once or twice a week. You have your weight loss protocol days. Tuesday mornings are lipo shots. Come in between 10 and 12, 9 and 12. Thursday afternoons, or whatever you want, maybe if 1 or 2, you schedule, you bundle that time, get them to come in at once. You could do some group consultations at the beginning. This does not have to take up your full day. If you want to add on medically weight loss on the side, or this is what you're currently doing, Helps having a scheduler, as always. So if you're looking to do the numbers here, 20 people in your program, $54,950 profit a month for those 20 times 12 months. So you're looking at 59,400, just about 60 grand for every 20 patients enrolled in your lipotropic weight loss program, which should take you maybe 2 hours a week, 4 hours a week. And so you see how some of our weight loss clinics see a lot of reason why people and providers specialize in offering medically supervised weight loss. It feels great, it's rewarding, and it's profitable as well. Now, of course, once they are enrolled and losing all that weight, they're going to tell their friends and family. They're going to notice their friends and family. So you're guys are really going to increase your referral rate. So this is a little revenue here, exponential graph. If all those 20 people tell 5 of their friends a week, so a quarter of them tell their friends, and their friends ask about it. So there's the increased revenue. If you add 5 new ones to the program per week, there, annual revenue, net profit, 222,000. It's not bad. All right, simplified compliance. I'm sure everyone loves less FDA regulation oversight. Now, of course, these are compounded 503B, highest registration you can get with the FDA. That means they're not patient specific. No prescriptions required. No insurance involved. Every batch tested pathogens, pyrogens, sterility, potency, a good shelf life. Obviously, check at the time of your order. Usually, 60, 90 days minimum, sometimes longer than that. I've seen lipo with 6 months. The FDA is trying to finally kind of getting on our side, letting us extend those BUDs a little bit so you can take advantage of some of the bulk discounts, save on your shipping. Super easy to order. Like we said, no prescriptions. So you just say, hey, rep, or hey, Ben, let me get 10 vials. And I say they'll be there in 1 to 2 business days. And, it's as simple as that. And they're pre-mixed, ready to administer. Not lyophilized, not powder form, so ready to go. Competitive advantages, what we reiterated here. Obviously less expensive. Your cost of GLP-1s, I would recommend charging a little less than what GLP-1s are, in your area and the market, because we want to, entice, get patients to come over. Obviously, your profit margins will still be very, very good, even though it is a lower cost solution for weight loss. As we mentioned, no prescriptions, we had no adverse side effects, maybe just some obviously a little irritation, redness at the injection site, at the time of the shot, just like you would with regular B12. In-office injections, I like this because you can, regulate the dose, make sure the patients are coming in and doing it. I never like self-administering. I don't like patients having to rely on them to go fill a prescription. I believe it's like 40 or 50% of nationally prescribed prescriptions go unfilled. Maybe the patient doesn't go, they're late, they forget, they see the copay, they thought it was free, now it's not free. So this is something you pay up front with cash, and you're sure they're going to be compliant. They're going to come in for their shots, like I said, sign them up for those programs, hold them accountable to coming back in. Comprehensive care plan, maximizing benefits here. In-office shots, obviously, they're being done. Take-home supplements, we'll go into that here shortly about how to boost those injections. What do we have for plateaus? What do we have for those sugar cravings? As I mentioned, how can we ensure they're going to keep the weight off? And it is more of a individualized approach. This is not, here's your script for GLP-1, self-inject once a week, come to see me, next month. Is that, anyone can do that. It doesn't take much skill, to be honest, to write a script for tirzepatide, GLP-1, brand names, and hope their pharmacy fills it, and just be on your way, collect the check. But hopefully we're about more than that. or about helping them keep the weight off. So lipotropic boosters, products that will help them do that. Our top seller here, have probably seen or heard of Lipo BC. It's an oral lipotropic tablet with B complex, hence the name Lipo BC, also some vitamin C, D3 in there as well. It's essentially an injection in the tablet form. So you take that daily to maintain therapeutic blood levels in between injection days. Big question I get asked is, should they take that even on the day of their shot? Uh, Short answer is yes, they should. We don't want them to get into the habit of skipping a day, and any excess B vitamins or lipotropics, because they're water soluble, your body will flush out. B thin, other side of the screen there, essentially a sublingual version of lipo-BC. That spray goes under the tongue, hold for 20, 30 seconds, then swallow. Added benefits of the B thin is the amino acid L-carnitine. So that's really going to help with plateaus, help them with some stubborn fat deposits. We love L-carnitine here. We even add it to some of the lipotropic injections. We sell it by itself. We love that amino acid. So don't forget to ask your rep about L-carnitine, best plateau buster on the market. All right, some of the synergistic benefits here. Why to use those companion supplements. Important to know they don't replace the shots. Obviously, the shots have their own margin levels that we do not want to get rid of. However, if they are in that maintenance plan, if they're traveling, if they're remote, if they live far away, they can come in weekly for a lipotropic injection, then we want them to at least supplement with something daily to keep that fat loss maintaining. Metabolism up, and the lipo-BC, the B-thin will do that. They can use those two side by side conjunctively if they like. They probably don't need both with the injections, but if they're off the shots, then yes, they definitely can use lipo-BC alongside B-thin. Custom labeling services here. Hopefully, you guys know this is our bread and butter at Legier. I've had people for 10 years like, oh, you guys white label? Yeah, we white label. It's, I think, almost 60, 70% of all the bottles leaving our warehouse here are custom labeled. So we can put your practice contact information, website, phone number, social media handles, Instagram page. We could put a QR code that they scan, and it goes right to your website or whatever landing page you want. So that's how everyone's doing it these days. That they lose the weight, they feel great, but they're not supposed to leave, with a vial of those shots, but they can leave with a vial of those companion supplements. And then it has all your contact info on there. Their friends and family take a photo or go to that QR code, and boom, you just made a referral. And that's really what sets apart our most successful practices offering weight loss, which is your average um, family provider or clinic that's doing, okay, come in for a B12 shot. Let me write you a script for phentermine, and that's their weight loss program. That a B12 shot and a script for phentermine does not a weight loss program make. So, and it's not sustainable. I've been doing this for years. If that's all you're doing for weight loss, you are doing a disservice to the patient. And realistically speaking, 1 out of 3, we're at 33, 34% obesity in this country. So 1 out of 3 patients through your door is a candidate for medically supervised weight loss. And we know it's a touchy subject, obviously. So we always recommend you have 2 options. So when you recommend weight loss for your patients, you say, hey, I've got my gold package, I've got my silver medically supervised weight loss package. One comes with 4 injections a month, the other comes with 2, or one's 4, the other's 8, or one's our super shot that's comprehensive, and maybe we have a lesser expensive kind of intro lipo injection with fewer B vitamins and no amino acids. So you offer them 2. You offer them the choice. It's psychology 101. Either way, whatever they do choose, you've got another patient enrolled in the program. You're helping to save their life, and we're helping build revenue, of course, for the practice. So bundling with our appetite suppressants, yes, yes, we know phentermine, Belviq, Contrave have always been popular, will be popular. Of course, you guys can recommend that as well. Our philosophy at Legier, let's try a natural holistic approach first. If that doesn't work, we can always switch them to a controlled prescription, an amphetamine-based appetite suppressant. So our solution is our alternative is L-phenylalanine. It's called Diucaps. It helps to regulate neurological hunger and cravings. It releases the satiety hormone, CCK. So it structurally mimics phentermine, but it's not a stimulant. So non-controlled, no prescriptions, no contraindications, no worries about employer-regulated patients. So those who are drug tested, police, fire, teachers, active military, truckers is a huge demographic. We sell a lot to those practices, seeing those patients. So that's working on hunger, cravings. Our other one is Protein Plus for appetite control. That's a carboxymethylcellulose. It's a bulking agent. So it expands up to 7 times its dry volume. You take it with a full glass of water about a half hour before you eat. That expands, that provides a physical feeling of fullness, of satiety. When you pair that with the Diucaps that works on head hunger, you really have a two-pronged approach to combating hunger, both physically and mentally. So I love pairing those two together. It's the other side of the equation. So it's kind of funny how GLP-1s focus more on the appetite control portion of weight loss because the two sides. Control what you eat, burn the fat that you have. That's you already have. Those are the two sides of the weight loss equation. GLPs help with the appetite, the lipotropics help with the fat burning. So both need help on the other end of the spectrum. So if they're on the lipo shots with the lipo tablets, they still will need something to help control their appetite. So that's where Diucaps and Protrim come in. They are holistic. They take a little while. Diucaps takes a little while to build up in the system. Protrim is a quick fill pill, so that works right away, even better to pair those together. I mean, like we said, if those aren't working after a couple months, you need to add on a prescription. It is a tool. It's a useful crutch. A lot of our obesity medicine association members will use that for a few months to help jumpstart the program, but they know it's not a long-term sustainable solution. These supplements are. Bundle number 2 here, Nutriline. This is the L-carnitine capsule I mentioned earlier for the plateaus, preserving lung muscle mass. L-carnitine is very popular in the bodybuilding community. People trying to go from 6 to 4% body fat. We love it there. And then DNS is our doctor's nutritional support supplement. That's for insulin control, blood sugar control, insulin resistance. A lot of chromium in there as well. This is the one that's helped thousands of patients get off of metformin over the years. Bundle 3 here, I like to kind of call it our aesthetic bundle. That's Mesoderm, topical PCDC cream, phosphatidylcholine, deoxycholic acid, help to tighten the skin. They lose a lot of weight, they're aging. Pair that with our HSN, hair, skin, and nail complex, collagen, vitamin A, beta carotene in the best form. And if they are on GLP-1s, they've lost a lot of hair because of that. Great solution here. Of course, other offerings that we do have 503A, Arxpel, 503B, hormones, drops. Don't forget to ask your rep here about that. If not, be able to help you out. And when should we implement this? There's obviously no time like now. So now is the perfect timing for market entry into lipotropics. You have patients getting off GLP-1s, they can't afford it, they're tired of ordering online, what have you. They've hit their goal weight, they run out of money. They need a more cost-efficient way to sustain the weight or lose it. So there you guys go. Millions of people reporting discontinuing. Solution, lipo B vitamin shots weekly, very easy to implement. High margins, obviously, we went over. And prevent that rebound. You can use it alongside the GLP-1s if they're on that from whatever source. Common physician concerns here, clinical evidence. We went over structure function statements versus clinical trials. Obviously, they've been used for decades. No one's going to spend $1 million to do a double-blind placebo on B vitamins and lipotropics because there are no adverse side effects. You can't patent. Well, you can try, but it's very difficult to patent, a natural B vitamin or amino acid. Yeah, tell that to Eli Lilly. They'll give it a shot. Why use 503B versus local? Not patient specific. We could ship into every state. FDA oversight, higher testing, lower cost too, because the 503Bs will have that in stock ready to go. A lot of the 503As will compound to order, so that's why it'll take a couple of weeks. And I have a lot of providers say, "Oh, then my local pharmacy says it's illegal to send that without a patient's name on it." Well, it's not illegal for a 503B. If you're a 503A, then there's different regulations. You have to send formulas patient specific. So if someone tells you it has to be patient specific, please call a 503B rep before just agreeing to pay that price or whatever they have you. Safety profile compared to GLP-1s, went over fewer adverse side effects, obviously, and of course, getting to be combined with other programs. You betcha, my Wisconsin accent coming out there, you know it. Definitely combine it with whatever's working. Add it on with what's not working. You guys are the medical professionals over there. We're here to help you provide you with the tools and the expertise to be successful. And with that, if you do have a rep here at Legier already, please reach out to them directly. If not, you could scan that QR code there, and I'll reach out to you personally here, and then we'll kind of shoot things back over to Rochelle and open up the floor to some Q&As.
Thank you, Ben. That was awesome. Let's see. We have a couple questions here. First of all, can you private label the shots, Ben?
We get that a lot. Unfortunately, anything compounded by the pharmacy has to have their information on it for adverse reporting principles. But the companion sublingual spray, the tablets, yes, those can be custom labeled.
Can you buy, or can my patients buy these products directly from you, from your website?
We do not sell anything, shots or supplements, directly to patients. If you are on our website, you will never be able to find pricing or a purchase option on there. So these are only available through you, despite the fact they are OTC, and that's why a lot of providers do love us and order from us, is because we don't have a consumer line like a lot of those other larger vitamin companies out there.
What are the minimums for private labeling, Ben?
Fantastic question. Very industry low threshold. Those minimums are 24 bottles or units per product. We just have a one-time setup fee. You pay that. It covers your private labeling, future orders, future products. There's no additional cost down the road for custom labeling.
Are these injections sub-Q or IM?
Excellent question. For optimal absorption, we recommend intramuscularly. However, a lot of them have been compounded to be subcutaneous as well. It will depend on the formula, and we'll have a list that will show you which ones are IM and sub-Q. I would recommend IM, hips, glutes, biceps are tougher, but that is how they are absorbed best. Most bioavailable.
And how long will these in-office injections, or how long will it take for these in-office injections to give results?
Well, that's the wonderful part. They have B vitamins in there, which are absorbed very, very quickly, almost immediately. So they'll feel that metabolism boost a little quicker than they'll see the effects of the lipotropics on the scale. So they'll feel them right away, which is fine, fantastic, which is why they keep coming back week after week. But yeah, B vitamins will be felt with metabolism right away. Lipotropics, obviously if they're pairing that with the lipo shot, pairing the lipo shots with the tablets, that'll cut down on that time. If they're increasing their metabolism naturally by eating healthy and doing that 20, 30 minutes of light exercise a day, that'll also help cut down on that time.
Thanks, Ben. And is there a minimum order for injections?
To save on shipping, we recommend at least a $200 order. Hopefully we can get you guys, they should be used up within a month. Every company, I've partnered with 4 now, compounding pharmacies, once those are punctured, you try to use those up within 30 days if possible. So hopefully we can get you at least, 4 or 5 vials, get you $200 to save on the shipping costs. But if you want to start out with one, ask your rep about it, one or two, and we'll make something happen.
Great. And then this final question that we'll go over today is, and I can help answer this, is this recording available to go over afterwards? And the answer is yes. You will all receive, if you signed up, even those that weren't able to join us today, we'll make sure that you get the recording. It'll be available. We'll send that out via email, and then it'll also be up on our YouTube page, and we'll make sure that's up on our website, which I would encourage you all to check out our website. There's a lot of recordings, former webinars on GLP-1s, as well as additional info on our products, white papers, a lot of the things that have been highlighted, and then even more research and blogs. So feel free to use our website as a source as well. And as Ben mentioned, what's posted right here on the screen, go ahead and screen grab that or write it down. If you're old school, use that QR code to reach out to Ben. Otherwise, if you have an existing rep, please reach out directly to them. They'll be able to get you all set up or answer any of your questions. And that, I think, will wrap it up. Ben, do you have anything to add to say goodbye to everyone?
No, thank you for your time and consideration, and let's help make the world a healthier place.
Great. Oh, I had one more question before we leave. Shelf life of these injections. Sorry, I can even cover that. Typically, it's between 3 to 6 months, and we do get those updates daily. So when you're ordering the injectable, we will be able to tell you what the best use date is on the batch that's going out. Ben did just mention that when you puncture a vial, you want to use it within 28 days. So if it's unpunctured, sitting on the shelf, you are typically good somewhere between 3 and 6 months. Did I answer that good, pharmacist Ben?
You did perfectly.
Right.
And the vials don't say the 30 days. That's just industry standard to prevent cross-contamination, of course.
Great. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. We appreciate your questions and your attention. And we look forward to sending you guys this recording. And we will be talking to you soon. Have a great day, everyone.